Hi, my name is Brooklyn. I just wanted to first say that I'm not a medical professional and you shouldn't take any advice from me or anything like that because I'm not a nurse, not a doctor, and I can't be giving medical advice. I just wanted to share my experience with you all and my opinion. So I have been a diabetic for 11 years now. I was diagnosed at the age of 15. I think it was 7 months before my birthday, my 16th birthday. And I wanted to create this channel because I just want to share my experience with other diabetics and people who might be newly diagnosed as diabetics. And I'm currently in school right now to be a healthcare assistant. I've been working in the medical field for 3 years now. I started off as a hospital housekeeper, and then now, I'm in school to be a healthcare assistant. And then I'll be going through my RN, and then I want to be a diabetes educator. And I'm hoping that my experience can help other people with diabetes not go through what I went through. So that's why I wanted to create this channel. So I'm going to start off by talking about being diagnosed with diabetes. So when I was 15, at the beginning of January is when I got diagnosed. I was in the States with my family for my brother's hockey tournament, and I was at the mall with my mom and my mom's friend's daughter, and my mom noticed that my breath was smelling really fruity. And she was concerned. She's like, that's not normal. We need to get you tested, because something might be wrong with you. And I was just 15 at the time. I was like, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm okay. It's fine. And then we go home, and I also noticed too that I had to pee a lot. And so we went to my family doctor and told him what we were experiencing, with the fruity breath and having to pee a lot. And then they decided to get me tested for diabetes. So I had to get a blood test. I think I had to get 2 blood tests, which they both suck because I couldn't eat for 12 hours before them. And it came back that my doctor thought I was type 2 diabetic. And then the next day he called us and he was like, I was wrong, you're type 1, which was very concerning that he thought I was type 2 because they are completely different. For those who don't know the difference, type 2 diabetics, you get diagnosed with it because either you're overweight or you're eating too much sugar. And it's non-insulin dependent, so you control it by exercise and eating healthy and taking medication. Type 1 though, it could happen from someone having it in your family or genetics, and you're usually diagnosed with type 1 diabetes as a young adult or as a kid. So 15, I was a young adult. And that's when your pancreas doesn't produce insulin anymore, so you have to take either an insulin injection or have an insulin pump. And it sucks because literally you have to take a lot of needles, which I hate. And yes, I was diagnosed in January and it sucked, because I completely had to change my diet, and I had to go to the hospital a lot for diabetes appointments with diabetic nurse educators and the child pediatric endocrinologist, which specializes in diabetes. And yeah, it really sucked. And yeah, it was something I wasn't used to because like my whole life I loved eating junk food and that had to change. And it also turned out I was diagnosed pretty early on because usually when you're diagnosed with diabetes, like you're in the hospital from having really high blood sugars, like 20 or above. And when I got tested, my blood sugar was 12. So they put me on insulin right away, and I got booked in to see a diabetic team right away at Victoria General Hospital. And they were honestly really amazing. And yeah, so like during the first, I think it was like 3 years of my diagnosis, my numbers were so perfect because like we had caught it early on. And yeah, because I was seeing like a diabetic doctor and nurses regularly and checking in with my family doctor, I was able to keep my blood sugars under control for 3 years, which was really great. And yeah, honestly at the beginning, like, because it was 11 years ago, I don't remember that much of it, but I just remember having to go to the hospital all the time and like missing school. So I was at the hospital for like 3 hours at a time, getting blood work done, having like a dietitian come in and talk to me, and then the nurse, then the doctor. And yeah, I had to go for a lot of blood tests a lot because every 3 months they check what your average blood sugar is. So yeah, it was just a lot, and I really knew like I was scared to like have to poke my finger every day to test my blood sugar, and you have to do that at least 4 times a day. It's not fun, it hurts, I hate it. And then doing the insulin, I hated it as well. Like, you have to inject yourself with insulin every time you eat, and then twice a day for long-acting insulin if you're put on it, which I am. So I have to do insulin at least 6 times a day, sometimes even more. It really sucks. Because yeah, I was like in my first year of high school when I got diagnosed, and literally my friends would sit there and be all pissed off at me that I had to sit there and do insulin in front of them because one of them was so afraid of needles that she didn't want to see me do insulin. And she's like, do you have to do that here? And I was like, yeah, I do, because if I don't do my insulin, then I'm going to die. Like, no joke about that. And then my other friend would sit there and be like, oh, it smells like a hospital. Like, it was horrible to have friends that like didn't support you. Yeah. So that was just like a quick introduction of myself and my diagnosis, and I will be creating more videos about like what living with diabetes for the past 11 years has been like. And I really appreciate everyone who watches this video, and I hope you subscribe to my channel and watch for more videos that I upload.